hate when you get woken up?
And you don't know who woke you up?
Let's get into it now. People, do I have the story for you today? Oh, man. Oh, man. Ugh. This story is about good old lovely D.O.T. officers. Every trucker's got a story about them, right? That took a lot longer than I thought it would. Man, this story here. Don't you hate when you get woken up and you don't know who woke you up? Let's get into it now. So I left Hines last night, right? Chuck, you're in the left lane. What are you doing? Like, it's no trucks in the left lane. This man don't care, bro. He does not care. But I got woken up after I parked, right? So I got done with Hines. I had to go on my sleeper berth, right? I was trying to sleep at the yard. They kicked me out their shipping yard, right? So I had to PC it over to someplace. That quick trip that I backed into before, my spot was taken. There were no other spots there, right? And you know the sucky thing about that, there's a whole bunch of bobtail spots, and there were like 5 or 6 bobtails in the semi and trailer parking spots when they could easily park in the bobtail spots. That grinds my gears. But that place didn't have parking, so I drove around for a little bit. I tried to find a Walmart. My GPS said there was a Walmart somewhere close because I just typed it in. It said there was Walmart close. It took me to like this industrial area, and there was nothing near. Like, there was no Walmarts, no nothing, right? Like, what is this? So I had to, turn it around, go out, find someplace to go. So I'm on I-20, right? I got on I-20 because I passed the second Walmart. I was about to just get on I-20, go back around, and get on the next Walmart that I typed in. Well, I saw a weigh station, and there was some parking at the weigh station, right? I think y'all know where this is going. I saw a weigh station, there was parking. So I got off the next exit, came back around. I wasn't even going to the Walmart. I just parked in the weigh station. I've done it plenty of times, right? Well, I got there at like 5 o'clock this morning, parked it. I got woken up at 9 o'clock in the morning. So 4 hours after I parked it and went to sleep, right? Got woken up. Knock, knock, knock. I'm like, okay, what is this? Had to get dressed, right? You know how I sleep. I don't got no clothes on in there, right? Had to get dressed. I look out my curtain, and I see somebody walking away, right? And they're not in like a uniform or anything, so they're just walking around with like pants and a shirt. Like, okay. So I'm thinking that the weigh station wanted me to get out. So I went ahead and clicked my PC. I started pre-tripping my truck, right? I start pre-tripping on my wheels, make sure my fifth wheel is still attached to my kingpin, make sure nobody pulled my rod, make sure the jaws are locked, doing everything, right? I pop my hood, DOT officer, he comes up to me, and he gets on my side steps, and he's like, "Hey, let me check your logs." All right. So I email him my logs from my Qualcomm, right? I fax him my logs. He tells me his stuff, fax it to him, and I'm still pre-tripping everything, right? So I'm getting ready to leave. He calls me over to his car, and he's like, "Hey, so it says you've been on sleeping bird for 11 hours. It's like, "No, I was on sleeping bird for a little bit, then I had a PC here, right? And then I went on sleeping bird." And he was like, "Well, it says you got 30 minutes left on your sleeping berth, and you can leave." I was like, "No, my clock says I got 3 hours left, and I'm gonna go by my clock." What he was trying to get me to do was like a 7-3 split, that new 7-3 split. That's what he was trying to get me to do. I was like, "No, my clock says I don't do the splits, right? I hate sleeping berth splits because it messes you up, especially on a dedicated run. You don't need a split, right?" So I was like, "No, I got 3 hours left on my clock." And he's like, "All right, well, we'll just have you sit here for your 3 hours." Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna do before you knocked on my door. He's like, "We'll just have you sit here for the 3 hours, get your break up, then you'll be out your way." I was like, "Okay." But I have never been stopped, or I've never had DOT knock on my door any times that I've parked at the weigh station. But I guess it's my fault because I should have parked at the weigh station, because DOT can easily pick you off there. Like, they can perform an inspection on you, bro. Just surprise inspection. I mean, I know I'm good. I should be good. There might be something that's wrong that I missed every now and then, if that. But I pre-trip my truck pretty good, so I should be good at any inspection. But the last time I got an inspection with on the Class B vehicle, and I got shut down because of it, because that vehicle was raggedy, and I ended up having to pay like $700. So I'm not trying to go through any more inspections right now, because I think a semi, their inspections, if you fail anything on it or something, if you have a violation, the violations are more expensive than a Class B, I think. Don't quote me on that, right? So I was like, "Oh God, he's about to give me an inspection." But he just wanted my logs, so I'm good. I was kind of worried about my logs though, because I do short haul, right? So I follow under a different rule than over the road truckers. Like, short haul truckers, it's like 150 to like 300 mile radius, and then you're supposed to be back at the starting place. You're supposed to end at your starting place for short haul, right? And they give us a 2-hour window on one day of the week, right? One day of the 8-day week. They give us a 2-hour window that we can have a 16-hour workday instead of a 14-hour workday, right? And I used that pretty recently to get to a Walmart, and then so that I can get home, right? I had to use that. So I used that, like, I think it was last week or it was the week before, but I wasn't quite sure. But I wasn't sure if he was going to say anything about my 16-hour usage on that day, because I wasn't at the DC, right? I didn't stop at my starting point, so I was kind of worried there that I was going to have a shutdown violation or something. I don't know how it would work, bro. I've never had DOT look at my logs, so that's my first time. So I was kind of worried that I wasn't gonna be able to work today for 34 hours. And then my next 34 hours was coming up on Monday, and it was throwing off everything, right? So I was worried. But he didn't look into that. He was just looking into my logs, make sure I wasn't doing a 34 there, I guess. I don't know. He didn't tell me why. He just pulled me out of my sleep just to check my logs. But I mean, I was respectful to him, so he was respectful to me. I guess if I had been rude to him, he would have thrown an inspection in there, which I advise nobody to be rude to the DOT officers. If you're a truck driver, I'd advise nobody to be rude to these DOT officers because they hold your license, honestly. Like, they can do a level 3 inspection and look for the most minute thing that really wouldn't matter, but you get fined for it because, you know, like, say, I don't know, one of your mud flaps was hanging loose, right? They can give you a fine for that because it's not secured. It's not properly mounted and secured, right? Which is on your pre-trip. Say one of the bolts are loose. Like, they can go through it and they can inspect it deeply if they wanted to, bro. And I guarantee that on everybody's truck, there's at least one thing a DOT officer can fine you for. Because no truck's 100% perfect. You know, you might catch something in one of your tires and not catch it or something, right? And you get stopped by DOT and you're rude to them, and they do a inspection, right? And then they see something in your tires that's not supposed to be there, right? Even if it's little and it's plugging the hole, it's not supposed to be there, and you'll get fined for it. So I advise nobody to be rude to DOT or police officers. Like, honestly, just be nice to them, bro, and I guarantee it'll be a lot better for you out here. That's my little advice, right? That's what I want to give you advice on. I went from me being stopped up trying to help y'all out, but oh man. But after all that happened, right? I was trying to leave and I opened my curtains again because I was up now and I had to pre-trip my truck again, right? Because I went to sleep. I wasn't in the driver's seat, so I wasn't aware of anything that's around me. So I had to pre-trip it again. I get in there, I close my curtains again, I eat a little something, I open them again, and I see a whole row of every single trucker that's on I-20. They pulled everybody in, bro. Nobody passed this weigh station. Everybody got pulled into this weigh station. And it was truck after truck. So it took me like 10 or 15 minutes to even leave from that spot because it was non-stop, just trucks going right through the weigh station, bro. But I'm gonna be yelling a lot today because I got like 4 hours of sleep, if that. But I had to get out, bro. DOT was kicking me out, which it doesn't make sense. Like, from what my understanding before is that we're allowed to park there because that's considered a safe haven, right? So if we're too tired or something, we're allowed to park there. I don't know why they have extra parking if we're not. That doesn't make sense. I guess to do an inspection on you, but that man should just let me sleep, honestly. I would have been out of there. He didn't have to talk to me. He didn't have to pull me out of my sleep. Just let me sleep. But that's my DOT story from today. I'll give y'all another story on whenever my DOT stop went bad when I got fined at $700. I'll give a story on that later on, bro. But I just wish that he would have left me alone. I don't do nothing to these DOTs. Like, I don't do nothing to y'all. I follow my laws. And y'all want to do all this. Y'all are extra. DOT, y'all are extra. That's my story, y'all. Y'all be safe. Don't piss off no DOT or police officers. Have fun. Enjoy your day.